So on yesterday's video about Civ 2, somebody asked what does happen at the end. And I'm glad they did, because it means I get to talk a little bit more about the interesting things about Civ 2. Well, there are functionally only three ways to win a game of Civilization 2. One, as I've mentioned, the total domination to be the only surviving civilization on the planet. The second one is to build a spaceship and land a colony on Alpha Centauri before anybody else does. People only tend to try that one when they've failed the first one. And because you have to be technologically and industrially dominant to get away with option 2, generally only the civilization that can win option 1 gets away with option 2. And then the third one is that the game ends at 2020, which was another prophetic thing by Sid Meier there, and you get a score. And if you got the top score, you won. And that's considered to be the cop-out victory because you didn't get one of the first two. But the thing is, if you win the first one, sure, you end up being the lord of the planet, but you end up being a lord of this irradiated wasteland where you spend most of your time playing whack-a-mole with the pollution that pops up all around you. As I've mentioned with the second one, if you're going for that one, there's probably someone else more dominant than you who is invading your borders at the time, so you don't get a chance to build your spaceship. But the other interesting thing is that at 2020, you can, if you wish, keep going and see what happens far into the future. And one person did this a long time ago. This was the thing on the internet a while ago. And he didn't play it constantly, but every so often he'd go back and play a few turns. And he played this one game of Civ 2 for 10 years, real time. 10 years, until eventually he reached the point where the game was in the year 3256 or something like that. And there were only 3 civilizations left. And they were the Vikings, the Celts, and the Americans. And they were constantly at war with each other, constantly swapping alliances with each other. The planet was a mess. It was all swamps and desert and raised sea levels. Once massive cities that had millions of inhabitants now had a few tens of thousands inhabitants. And the only thing it was worth building was more military material, because if you didn't build a tank this turn, if you tried to build an engineer to clean up some pollution, for example, if you didn't build a tank this turn, then an enemy tank would capture that city this turn. So essentially, what you get when you keep going well past the end in a game of Civ 2 is the plot of 1984. Oh yes, and all 3 of these civilizations were, of course, totalitarian regimes, because there's no other way to keep everyone happy in that situation.